India, big fall in global gender index. Rank 131st out of 148 countries, down from 129th in 2024. Overall score around 64.1%, placing India near the bottom in South Asia. In global context, the Global Gender Gap Index, published by World Economic Forum since 2006, now average around 68.8% globally, reaching full parity in projected to take 123 years. Despite slight improvement in some areas, India's lag in political empowerment has pushed its rank downward. How India fared across the four key pillars: economic partner participation and opportunity, India recorded a modest gain, rising by 0.9 ppt to reach 40.7% parity. Earned income parity edged higher from 28.6% to 29.9%. Labor force participation reached a high of 45.9%, India highest yet. Analysis: this upward shift reflects position yet still modest momentum in women workforce inclusion, however, being ranked 144th globally in this pillar, underscore the extent of the challenge. Educational attainment near complete parity with a score around 97.1%, driven by rising female literacy and tertiary enrollment. Analysis is educational gain has been sustained largely thanks to long-standing efforts to boost girl education, yet this success hasn't translated into comparable gain in empowerment or income, health and survival. Some gains in sex ratio at birth and healthy life expectancy. However, India remained low globally, ranked around 147, suggesting persistent issues, possibly including female mortality rates and gender biased health outcomes. Some political empowerment decline in human political leadership drove much of Indian slide. Female MPs dropped from 14.7% to 13.8%. Women ministers fall from 6.5% to 5.6%. In fact, India ranked at or near the bottom of this pillar, globally indicated to be around 148 in one estimate. Analysis: political empowerment remained India's weakest link. Low representation in national and ministerial role highlight deep structural barrier. Regional comparison: where India stands in South Asia, India trails behind. Bangladesh is 24th, Bhutan at 119th, and Nepal 125th, Sri Lanka 130, India 131st, Maldives 138th. Insight is India falls behind several neighbors who score better in education, political representation, or economic equality. Global context and trend: the global gender gap has improved from 68.4% in 2024 to 68.8% in 2025. The fastest progress since the pandemic is rooted in gains across politics. Top performer Iceland, that is 92.6%. Finland, Norway, UK, New Zealand leads the index. In contrast, bottom tier includes Pakistan, Sudan, Chad, Iran, and India near the bottom. Takeaway: India's stagnation isn't just about slow internal progress, it's also about countries accelerating faster, especially in political representation. What behind India's slide: political entrenchment, persistent patriarchal norm, financial barrier, lack of leadership pathway for women hinder political participation, especially in parliament and cabinet roles. health system gaps. Persistent gender health disparity include maternal health, female morbidity rates, and nutrition undermine parity in the health and survival index. Economic and cultural constraint. Despite rising female workforce presence, much of it remains in the informal economy or goes unrecognized. Plateaus in education. Though near parity, further educational gain must translate into better job quality, empowerment, and voice. Why this matter for India? Economic opportunity. Closing gender gap unlocks crucial economic growth. A recent WEF note emphasizes this, linking parity with resilience in uncertainty, global competitiveness. In India's today economy, gender equality isn't just moral, it's a strategic. Falling behind peers can cost India in innovation, investment, and credibility. Social justice and development. Gender parity is foundational to equitable development. Continued disparities hinder progress on health, education, and democratic inclusion. Strategic pathway ahead. Improve political empowerment. Women reservation in legislative bodies, national and state level must be more effectively implemented. Capacity building, leadership and political training for women at the grassroots and higher level. Campaign finance support level the electoral playing field via financial support and reduce entry barriers. Strengthen health equity. Targeted health intervention improve maternal health care, gender aware health policy and nutrition. Health data reform. Accurate gender segregated data to identify gaps and drive policy clarity. Elevate economic recognition. Formalize informal employment. Extend labor protections, pension access, and recognition to women in informal sector. Equal pay policy. Enforce measures to close wage gap in both public and private sector. Translate education into agency. Promote entrepreneurship programs for women graduate. STEM inclusion. Encourage women entry into high growth sector through scholarship and mentorship. And here are some conclusion what actually this drop leads to. India's drop in 2025 global gender gap report is a wake-up call, highlighting how progress in education and economic activity, while essential, cannot mask deep deficit in equity, especially political representation and health outcomes. As neighboring countries surge ahead and global average improve, India risks being left behind. To reverse the slide, a concerted push is needed, especially deeper reform in political empowerment alongside targeted investment in human health, recognition in economic participation, and harnessing educational achievement into leadership and agency. Without this shift, India's gender justice journey will remain stalled rather than sprinting forward. And this is from my side.